Well, the first ever test series between the Silver Ferns and the Queens of Malawi has begun with a convincing win to New Zealand, 70 goals to 32. Belinda, Colin, what do you think? Is that going to be one that will please Coach Tomonu?
Oh, look, probably not. I think the start wasn't great for the Silver Ferns. It took them a little bit of time just to connect with each other and get that flow and get their combinations right. I think as the match progressed, they really grew in confidence, and we saw some brilliant patches of play. You know, a few errors here and there, but, you know, overall, a pretty solid start for the Silver Ferns.
And for Malawi, I mean, how hard for them now? They've been on the road for a little while already. You know, that is a bit of a thumping. Now they have to fix things.
Well, we saw a great comeback from them in Australia where, you know, they had quite a significant loss in the first match and really turned it around and got a lot closer in their second match. So, you know, let's hope that they make that same progress in the next match here in the series.
Well, let's now go and hear the thoughts on the sideline of Taini Dalton and Timmy Parabelli.
Well, thanks, Jen. Well, I've been watching Waimanawa Tamanu. She's been looking at the stats list. She's hard to actually, she doesn't really change her expression, but I think she could be pretty happy with that. A bit of a slow start, Temapara, especially in that first quarter, but they really got into a rhythm.
She will be happy about the stats because they were high in all areas throughout the court, and she talked about through the media that she wanted to increase the rebounds in both ends of the circle and also the turnover to score percentages, and they definitely did that. A slow start, but I put that down to different combinations out there. In the second quarter, they came to the party and then they just went away with the game and the rest of the game.
You've played a lot of teams like Malawi, you know, Barbados, Trinidad, Tobago. How hard is it to sort of set their game plan? They play quite, you'd say, unorthodox. Well, look at them. They were going back, forward, back, forward. It's quite tiring, isn't it?
It is quite tiring, but the style of defence that Y wants the defensive combination to play actually suits it because they sit in pockets and wait for the players to run into the space and then they come out and hunt the ball, like we saw Who do out there as well.
She had a blinder for a debut too. Well, let's take a look at Malawi, their little goal attack. Talk us through what she brings to the game.
Yeah, the goal attack in the first half, she's only 19 years of age, so what great experience she has there. Her combination with Kumwenda is great. She has great vision. She looks long into Kumwenda, which I think was a bit lacking in the Australian series. However, just something to work on for the next two tests.
Yeah, and we heard Bill Collin mention just the movement in there. It was fluent and certainly was improving. The other one for the Silver Ferns, Irene van Dijk, we haven't seen her on the court for a while. She got the start, she got the whole game. What do you make of her performance?
I think she came out and silenced the critics out there. You know, people are saying, will she make the Commonwealth Games team next year? Of course she will. She's a legend. She's a great goal shooter. And she showed the versatility that she has with different combinations. We're used to seeing her with Tutaia out there, but then the old combination of Brown coming through with Van Dijk, and it started to spark right throughout that game.
When we're talking Brown, you know, we haven't seen her against Australia, but she got the start, she got the whole game. Player of the match, she'd have to be happy with her performance.
Now let's have a look at the full-time stats. 70-32, the score in the wash-up. And look at the difference in attempts at goal.
Yeah, that's really significant, isn't it, for the Malawi side? They really just need to get that ball into their key shooter. MAW Kumwenda is, you know, such an asset for them. She's a great athlete, and if they just get her possession rate up, she's going to churn away and get some more points on the board. Really fell away in the penalties, a high count against Malawi. They'll need to have a look at that and look at their discipline and their turnover rate, well, twice that of New Zealand, so another area of concern for them. Shooting stats, really accurate from Van Dijk. Don't expect anything other. Brown, a little bit down, but we did see her shoot from range. And for the Malawi side, yeah, the goal attacks, both goal attacks that came on, Vula and Chamairo, yeah, probably also need to lift that possession rate.
So that's the situation. In the end, 70-32, New Zealand over Malawi.